Cause we alive, bitches.
Coming soon to this theater.
It's alive. It's moving. It's coming this way.
What up, everybody? It's your boy Brian, back for another episode of CG Horror Movie Club. The club where, what else do? We watch horror movies and talk about them. For those of you that are newcomers, what we do is we always try to pick a movie that's not behind a paywall. Tonight's movie is Messiah of Evil, and the link to that is in the description, and it's a beautiful Blu-ray rip. Completely unedited, no commercials. On the YouTubes. So if you haven't seen it and from listening to us talk about it tonight, it sounds like something you might want to check out. And trust me, you do want to check this one out. Link is in the description. Anyway, let me bring on my co-hosts. Like Matt Butch Cleaver Burke. What is
Hey,
up,
what up,
Matt?
man? Hell yeah. It's cracking.
Yeah, what you got? What you got? What you drinking?
Same thing, man. They got it. I'm gonna keep fucking buying it. It's just fucking Torski. It's from Ukraine. It's a honey lager, and yeah, it's like 7%. Fucking smooth, dude.
Oh, great! You just had to use a word that's probably going to get this like yanked off the air.
Like
No, I'm just fucking with you, dude. But Ukrainian beer. Wow, I don't think I've had. That's interesting.
German, Ukrainian, Polish, fucking all, and the dark or whatever they got.
Dutch beer is really good.
What's that whole
what's
region.
the date on that, Matt?
Oh fuck, I don't know. But when I buy these, I only buy like 3 of them because
I
there's
just
no
wondered
rating
if they're
system.
still brewing them over there, or if that's old stock. I'm just wondering.
No, I don't. You know what? I don't know. There is no data. Yeah.
What's the percentage?
7. Oh, it's 7%.
Oh, okay.
But it's yeah. See, the thing is, like right here, it's got E 35, 2, 3B, 3, 6. Different countries have different ratings, so there's no like global fucking beer rating. I wish there.
Right.
That's why I only buy 3 beers whenever I go pick out a bunch of beers.
Yeah.
You know, I only buy 3 because you could get like fucking sick just from mixing the 3 different ones. You know, and I like to try different ones all the time. So
yeah,
unless I'm doing this show, then I'll do these 2.
Matt is basically what wine drinkers are to wine. You're to beer, right?
Yeah, but I ain't nobody. I mean,
no.
I know beer snob, but I do drink a lot of different beers.
You're not a beer. Look, there's a difference between a snob and a connoisseur, right? A snob is somebody that lords their knowledge over other people, like they're superior for knowing some shit, right?
Yeah,
right. A connoisseur is like I would consider us both horror connoisseurs for sure.
Yeah.
And let's introduce our other co-host, Matt. Almost called you Matt Pops. I'm sorry, guys. It's you
Man,
and
the
it's
first
fuck
show
today in New
was-
York, man.
Hey,
I
first
feel
I
sorry
got
for you.
called Doc on my show this morning. Now
Doc
I'm
Man
getting
Pops.
called Matt on your show. Look,
He's a
what's
Pop
up?
Man
The
Doc.
madness is here. Let's go back to the show. Let's do this.
So
They know who I am. All right.
yeah, I know who you are. Everybody knows who you. Anybody knows who you are.
I wouldn't go that far, but anybody that's into indie comics should know by now.
All right. Okay. Have you guys seen the Werewolf by Night trailer?
Mm-hmm.
No.
It just dropped.
Is
It
it the
just
Marvel
dropped.
one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's playing him?
It was
I don't know.
me.
Oh,
I don't
what?
know.
Is it a teaser?
It's I'm gonna play it in a second.
I forgot I was playing Skyrim. I might have to turn this.
Damn.
I was
Oh,
fuck-
dude,
I was
dude, that's
playing
my shit
Elder
right there.
Scrolls before the show started and
Oh.
just forgot.
one
Music
of
just
those-
started. I'm like, oh crap! But
Do you have it?
one of those games
What
I-
platform? What platform are you playing that on?
PS4.
Okay, you can get mods with PS4. Right?
Oh yeah.
Because like I will not play Skyrim unless I can put all of my female companions, all
Dude.
my female followers in bikini armor.
I have.
Well, because
Dude.
they in bikini armor they have greater mobility.
Yeah.
Oh, no
Do you know
shit.
what I mean?
I'll
It's
tell
just
you
great
what.
seeing like a nice pair of like butt cheeks in front of me when I'm like on control.
I got screenshots of my character with like 5 of the females before they even had mods. It's like
That's
I went
crazy.
around and grabbed all the female followers, and I'd go everywhere with all the female. I wouldn't even talk to the dudes, except the orc with the lightning battle axe. That dude's
Yeah.
on.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know.
I was watching Razor Fist. He was playing it. He had a fucking Elric an Elric mod. That shit was
Yes,
tight
he
as fuck.
did. Well, I mean, it's built right into the game mechanic that you can have
really?
like weapons that steal people's souls and put them in these things called soul gems that you can use to enchant weapons or armor. Right.
Fuck,
So
that's a
it's already got that. It's already got that animation.
It's already got
Which
that
is-
Michael Moorcock thing in there, huh?
Yeah, and man, I still haven't read the latest volume. It's
I
like,
don't,
I'm
dude.
just
I got it
waiting
for
that.
my birthday. I got it in July. I got the 3rd one. I know the 4th one's out, but I'm like, and I'm rearranging everything. Like I'm rearranging the whole house and the garage, and
Yeah.
so much shit going on. I got to read it. But I used
hear
to. There's a game, wrestling game called SmackDown. It's still around, but man, you
I
could like
remember.
modify all these characters. I had Spawn on there, Venom. Like I would make the characters costumes from scratch, dude. Like they had this one game that we just had everything. I could make any character. It was so fucking cool. I was pretty good at
Yeah,
it.
the
too.
cause. Yeah. I had there was one edition of SmackDown where the Undertaker's head looked exactly like me.
No shit.
I mean, exactly. I was like, the Undertaker stole my head.
Yeah, I like
And-
Undertaker and Kane. Those are my 2 favorite, dude. Like they're just
Made-
they're fucking
Undertaker's
awesome.
Made my
always been
girlfriend my
favorite.
manager. And made like my friends and like work buddies my stable,
Oh, that's cool.
my posse.
It's pretty advanced
Doing
now because I see what they
tags
do
and
with the CG SmackDown or whatever, and I'm like,
Yeah.
bro, I used to fucking that's my jam,
Oh,
bro.
it's
Like
so damn.
I used to do that back when I when I was like
hilarious.
20 years old. Like I fucking had so many fucking wrestling characters. I had like so many. I
Yeah,
had to
me
delete
too.
them and keep making them. And I don't know if he scans people's faces or what for the CG one, but that's pretty cool.
It's well, yeah. I mean, well, Mark's a genius. Mark's just like is easily the funniest person in CG. That dude always that dude's just a pisser, and he's taking his time. He's taking his time when it comes to putting out Starfetched.
I'm gonna have to hit him up in
and-
a year or two or a year or so. Have him
Oh yeah, no, I always
do some
like
more
whenever I
stickers
get
for me.
when I. And he's made so many cool stickers. Yeah. Oh, you're talking about that one right there.
Anytime that dude asks me to, anytime I ask him to do something, I'm like, oh, cool, you'll do that. And he's like, oh yeah. I'm like, all right, here you go. Here's some money. I just pay him instantly. Like, there you go.
That's
Love
awesome.
that guy.
Yeah. No, he's the shit. And he's just a genuinely really good dude. And the CG wrestling thing is fucking hilarious.
I've never seen any of those shows. I got to check it out. I just subscribed to their
Oh,
channel.
they're
I couldn't find
hysterical.
I couldn't find the
Dude.
fucking channel. I was like, where the fuck are you watching this shit? I
It's
finally
6
found it.
a.m. comics, I think.
Yeah.
6 a.m. comics on is it Mike's channel we're watching on, or is it Mark Polton's channel? It's one of those guys.
I don't
I
know.
was
That's what I
whipping
mean. I
ass.
don't know. Like, because I used to play those fucking SmackDown games. Me and my brother and all my homies. And I
Of course.
dude. Oh man.
It's Breaking Rad. Isn't that the name of the channel?
That's
Breaking
Breaking
Rad.
Rad.
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
that was the one. Breaking Rad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, so funny. I was in a steel cage match a few weeks ago, and Preston starts climbing out. I start climbing after him, trying to grab like one of his ankles, and he slipped out of my grasp.
That was a great show. I watched it.
Hysterical. What
It's
I thought was
because you were in it.
hilarious.
That's the only reason I watched.
You know what they need to do next?
The Preston looks exactly like Preston too.
Yeah. No, a lot of them
I like Piper too. The way,
Yeah.
the
A lot of
way
them are
they
like
do
spot
Piper
on,
and
dude. I'm like, what the
yeah,
fuck?
they are.
they got Piper and Charlie's and dude, it's great. Man.
I know it's
Allie,
hysterical.
You
It's a
know,
pistol.
Some of them are like the
Selena,
characters,
everybody.
like the book characters. You know, I think the
Yeah.
next thing he should do, like the next wave, like in a couple years, he should do like CG, like just the characters, like from some of the books. If he could do that,
Oh, that'd be badass too.
you know what I mean? That's what because I used
Yeah.
to make comic book characters. You know what I mean? And one of the things had a cape built into it. You know, so I had Batman and fucking. You can mess with their
Oh,
hair.
dude,
and
with the new
I had
shit,
the Hulk
with the
in
new
there.
shit, it's even
Look,
easier.
What
Yeah.
you
Oh my
need is
God.
a CG Mortal Kombat type game where you can bring the
Oh, we've been
characters
talking
of
about
the
that for
books,
years.
Yeah, that's
for
what
the
we need.
characters of the books come up and fight each other.
Well, dude, my homie was gonna make a CG game. He was trying to raise it. It was called Hero Potential. I don't know if you were around back then. It was about a year and a
Yeah,
half ago.
yeah.
Yeah, but it didn't work out. But he had made it was all fucking. He made Cyberfrog. He made a couple. He made Cecil, and it was all like it was a world where all the comic book, all the CG characters like merge into one parallel reality, like in like a New York City thing, and these
that's
robots
awesome.
come down, and so everyone could fight fucking robots, you know.
Right.
So he had the Jawbreakers in there. He did all of it himself, dude. You know what I mean?
Damn.
And it looked
well,
cool.
he should try that again. He should
He
try
only
that
needed
again.
he needed $10,000 to fucking make it to finish it and shit.
Oh, dude, he could make
he
that
got
now.
5. He got 5, but he's like, fuck, man, I don't know, you know.
Oh,
I'm like,
dude,
damn,
if he wants to if he wants to do that again now,
he did
would
Johnny
definitely get
Phantasm
that
too.
one.
He did a bunch of like a few of them, dude. Like, and they look fucking tight. You know what I mean? It was all 3D, fucking.
Oh,
you know.
man. Oh man,
He knows his shit. Trying to
But,
get him to make a comic book, dude. I'm like, dude, get him to make a fucking because he's got stories lined up and shit, you know.
Okay, but I mean, that's the thing I love about our community is if somebody's even thinking about making a comic, we could be like, bruh, do it.
Well, I'm the
And,
guy.
you know,
I'm the guy that go up to anybody in the comic book store and try to. I'm like the fucking idiot, like annoying asshole, obnoxious fuck that'll be like, hey, why don't you make a comic? Look at me like, what the fuck are you talking about? I'm like, you want to make a comic, and like everybody that reads comics kind of wants to make a comic, you know.
Of course.
Does it? And some people say, well, doesn't mean they should.
That's true.
And I'll say,
That's
doesn't
true.
mean they should.
That's
say,
true,
well,
but that's the thing. You're not going to
but
know.
you might
You're
have a
not
good
going to
story
know
in there,
until you
so-
try.
Exactly.
Mhm.
So I always do that because
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
that motherfucker that was like, I walked in, you know what I mean, and I seen some guy. He had a table up and fucking bunch of comics. He had his Print Ninja shit. Where'd you get this Print Ninja? What'd you do? And fucking, I'm like, I could probably do that. And so, that inspired me. And fucking, otherwise, I would have just been working retail doing absolutely nothing.
Dude.
I'm like, I could die a happy man now. I got everything I ever wanted in life.
Right. And whenever somebody new comes in, we could, I like to think that we welcome them with open arms.
Well, there's only so
And-
many of us left now reading American comic books. There's
I
only like a
know.
few of us left. So again,
We're the
if I
ones
go-
holding it down.
I'll repeat it
We're the
again.
ones
If I go to a
holding it
comic
down.
store and I talk to said motherfucker, the one guy in the comic store still reading an American comic and telling him to make a comic.
Right.
I don't know, bro. There's not that many
Yeah,
of them
yeah, yeah.
anymore. There's not
But
that
that's
many of them anymore.
But that's the thing. It's like you get infected by this bug.
Oh yeah.
You want to spread it. Right? You want to
Mhm.
spread it. You want to start,
I was
biting
like,
other people.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
totally,
Yeah,
dude.
yeah.
I was gonna make a
Well-
channel on. I was gonna do like a how to do everything, like get your business license, get your DBA. Fucking, I was gonna show everybody how to make a comic book. You know what I mean? Like anybody on the street could do it.
Dude,
I was gonna do that.
why don't you? You could still.
Oh,
Why
dude.
not now?
I lost interest. I'm not passionate about
Okay.
it anymore.
Oh, okay.
But-
Then fuck it. Yeah, because that's the key. That's the key. Don't fake the funk. If you're not
Yeah.
passionate about what you're doing, don't do it.
Yeah. So
Yeah. And you can't control that.
no,
You have-
you
have
can't. You're just
zero
like working
control
on
over that.
something, and then this fucking light switch just turns off, and you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
It's like you're playing with your toys. It's the best thing. You're like, these
Right,
things
right.
are stupid and dumb. I don't want to play with toys anymore. And then you fucking grow up and you start doing something else. Keely
Yep,
Chow. Keely Chow's in the
Chow.
chat.
What up, Keely Chow? Thank you so much for tuning in. Everybody who's tuning in, thank you so much. Yeah, I know we haven't been talking about horror movies at all. We've just been talking about making comics and everything. But, well, let me get in. Let me do this.
So Werewolf
When
by
I
Night
was a-
trailer. You're talking about that.
Yeah. That's what I'm getting to. Let me open the file. Wait, hold on. Let me remove that.
Does it look cool?
Okay. All right. There's a personal bias here, right? I grew up on Werewolf by Night. It was one of the first comics I remember reading. My first memory of a comic book was being in the back of my parents' car, and it was a Jack Kirby Fantastic Four. With one of those big double spread pages where there was this character Machismo. It was just laying the thing. Jack Kirby just killed those.
Fucking
and I remember my older brother making fun of me because I didn't know who the Thing was. I just called him Rockman.
Yeah.
But because I knew immediately that was my boy, right?
Yeah.
And I remember reading Ghost Rider and I think Monster of Frankenstein, Man Thing, a lot of Mike Ploog stuff. And one of those Ploog books was Werewolf by Night. In fact, I have a vivid memory of one of my teachers, actually it was in kindergarten, of drawing in crayon 2 werewolves. And one of them was Jack Russell, and the other one was this character. It was a black dude, and when he changed, his fur was blue. Right? So I vividly remember drawing that damn blue werewolf. Okay?
Right.
So, and a lot of those comics, they really don't hold up story-wise. Some of them really, like the early Ghost Riders, some of those are pretty painful. So early Son of Satans are pretty painful.
I like him.
I love the character. I love the character. I'm saying, and mind you, I love this shit as a kid, right? So you had guys like Jerry Conway, Len Wein, Marv Wolfman. Those were the guys that were writing these comics, man.
Yeah.
And as a little kid, I gobbled them the fuck up. So when
I liked Hellstrom because he was regular show offshoot guy from the Defenders. You saw him a lot in the Defenders. So.
Yes, he did.
That's Mephisto's son, right?
No, he's because Mephisto isn't Satan,
right?
No,
right?
Damien Hellstrom.
Okay.
Yes, because remember, The Exorcist was really big at that time, and there was the whole series of movies that would lead to the Satanic Panic 10 years later.
Right.
Right. Race with the Devil, all these movies, The Devil's Reign, all these movies about satanic cults in your midst that you're completely unaware of, right? But anyway, Werewolf by Night, yeah, I was love that. What I was hoping they would do was maybe they would make smaller movies for the Marvel monsters, right?
Ooh, perfect, yeah.
$20 million budget,
low budget, practical effects.
right? For Werewolf by Night, who would you want to get? The same people that did
Rick Baker, Wolfman,
yeah. Right? But no, I mean, Wolves to me was practically it was a Werewolf by Night movie almost in every respect.
You're right,
except the title.
100%. Yeah, and there's no CGI, and it's just right.
Yes.
No, you're right.
Yeah.
100%. I agree.
Yeah, and the makeup effects were perfect.
Rick Baker, they were just same as.
Well,
fucking
Rick Baker
Wolfman.
is the king. Rick Baker, I mean, you're talking about the goat right there.
Yeah.
And of course, he did the Wolfman. Anyway, enough of my yapping. Let's take a look at this.
He said.
Here we go.
Oh, joy.
That was painful all on its own.
Oh,
that seemed kind of sus. A little happy. All right, that sounded dope.
This Halloween.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, it did.
That was tight.
Yeah, and I don't know if the whole series is like this. I can't imagine that it is. I can't imagine that they would. I think it's a TV movie.
Oh, okay.
Is what I think it is. I can't imagine that they would actually make that in black and white.
You can't escape the shock, the terror of Werewolf by Night.
By Night.
Looks like the old Carl Laemmle Universal Monster movies. It's obviously what they're referencing, and that's a good sign.
Tonight, it is every hunter for themselves.
Good luck. I'll be rotting for you.
Now, was that an animatronic Frankenstein monster?
It looked like it.
I can't imagine that Disney has any interest in doing Monster of Frankenstein because the Frankenstein monster is a public domain character.
My granddaughter
have.
was standing. Check it out. My granddaughter was standing here next to me when you played that little clip, and she was watching that dude, and she goes, "Weirdo," and rolled her eyes and walked away.
Yep. Yeah, she's not wrong. She's not wrong. Smart kid.
But one of you is a monster, masquerading as one of our own.
All right, now this sounds like God, what the hell was the name of that game that was turned into a movie? Werewolves Among Us. And it's actually a pretty good movie. I actually enjoyed it.
I can't wait to find out what breed of evil you are.
All right, it looks like they got him in a cage there, and that they're like hitting him with like cattle prods or something.
Horse pikes. Oh.
You wanna see this, darling?
Is that Jessica Jones?
Death is coming for you!
Oh, and also there's a appearance by another Marvel monster.
Yes. There he is.
There he was.
I seen him. There he is.
Yep, yep, folks. That's Man-Thing right there.
And that's a good representation of him.
It's the character.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because one of the things that that drove me crazy about something like the 1989 Punisher movie was they took the one thing that was instantly recognizable about that character, which is a skull on his chest, and just got rid of it. It's just like,
lopping hands off in here too, so it looks pretty cool, dude. I ain't gonna lie.
Well, it looks like he's burning somebody right there.
Oh, he's burning someone's skull for sure. He's fucking somebody up. There's already gore.
Check it out though. That younger brunette chick in the beginning, looked like Jessica Jones too.
Oh yeah, kind of did. She was great in that series, and the first season of that was fire.
Werewolf by Night.
Right there. Lunchtime.
It looks interesting, dude. I actually want to get Disney again just to watch it and then turn it off. And hopefully it's in black and white.
You can do the trial thing now, dude. You just turn the trial on, watch what you want to watch, and then turn it off.
And I think they have a release date here, or maybe not.
October 7th.
Okay, October 7th. Okay, what's the issues? Okay, my main concern
right there.
Yeah, that's totally her.
Jones.
Yeah. And they're going to bring back Daredevil, but it's not going to be like a season 4. It's going to be a season 1. That's to say they're bringing back Charlie Cox, but the show's going to have a completely different tone.
Stupid.
And that is my concern with this.
They're going to set that tone on She-Hulk. Watch.
Here's the thing about the Marvel movies and the TV shows that people like me need to come to grips with. This is not for us.
Nope.
Yeah, right.
It's not for us, right? So me getting mad about, the new Thor movie.
It's
kind of like one sec, Pops. It's kind of like me getting mad about Steven Universe, right? Steven Universe, for those of you that don't know, is an SJW cartoon. It's got that shitty Cal Arts animation, where they got the big teeth. Yeah. I don't have a problem with it because it's an SJW cartoon made by SJWs for SJWs. It's not for me. right?
Yep.
It's the same way like with Twilight or Twiglet, as I like to call it, right? The Twilight series. Sparkly fucking vampires, like you need to be slapped for that. Like heresy. But it's not for me. Right?
You know how I found my way to cheer for this stuff?
Yeah.
Is to make friends with people that are in it.
There you go.
Jason Connolly, right? He scored another part. Okay, he's in Black Panther 2. He's in Stranger Things, and now he scored a part in Gotham Knights.
Nice. What up, Shadow?
So I like having friends that are in these shows, and maybe they'll be able to influence these clowns a little bit and get things back the way they're supposed to be.
No, they're not.
The Mexican dude, the Mexican dude in the trailer, he actually is an actor from Mexico. He's Jack Russell. Looks like Gomez with a thin pencil mustache. Yeah, he's also the voice of the main character in Coco. That's a good movie, decent movie for a Disney movie.
It looked beautiful. It looked beautiful. It looked beautiful.
Yeah, it's a beautiful fucking movie. I think it was a ripoff of Book of the Dead, though.
Let's see. Now this bitch looks like she's like she's been got by the werewolf by Jack Russell, and he's like about to tear her arm off. That's what that looks like.
Mm-hmm.
Totally.
He's got her.
Totally. And this is a TV one night event. This is a TV movie. Is
her arm the one that ends up landing on the other side of the room? Did you just rip it off and throw it?
I don't know. We'll see. Here's the thing. Maybe this isn't black and white, so then they can do gore, but it's not as gory. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like
the red. Yeah.
Right? Like remember like the old Savage Sword of Conan comics? Like those could get a little brutal. But like the regular Conan comics, blood was always, if it was drawn at all, it was black.
Yep.
It was never red, right?
Yep.
What do you use for blood when you're shooting in black and white? Hershey's chocolate syrup. That's what they used in Raging Bull, for instance.
Looks good.
Yeah, it does. It does. I've used it. It's much better than using the Caro syrup with the food coloring, which is like the classic formula. But here's my problem. I'm hearing that this is a comedy.
They usually are though, right? That's the formula. It's the standard, like
the
MO for Marvel.
Comics are not comedies. Well, sometimes. I mean, Spider-Man was a quip guy, but not everybody.
No, but it wasn't. It wasn't a joke. He was making quips because that was his way of
dealing with what he's dealing with.
Dealing with what he's dealing with. Also, that whole, that saying, give a man a mask and he will tell you the truth, right? So he could get away with saying shit that he normally couldn't, but also it was a tactic.
Exactly.
He would say shit to get the villains angry because when you're angry, you're not thinking straight. You're if you get your opponent angry,
Spidey knew that right from the beginning.
Yeah.
He knew that in the wrestling ring before he was ever Spider-Man.
Yeah.
That's common sense, right?
Probably not for a 16-year-old.
So I think that, I'm not saying I'm not going to take a look at this, but it's going to be like a Gong Show thing. I'm going to be ready to fucking.
Man, I don't want him to turn this. This is one of the more serious titles that fucking Marvel actually did.
Yeah.
Make Howard the Duck funny.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Make Forbush Man funny. Plastic Man.
Do Throg. Do something, but man.
Something. Throg.
That's supposed to be funny.
But don't take stuff.
Right.
It's another classic case of we don't care about the source material.
Exactly. Yeah. And what we have to come to terms with is that the Marvel movies, the MCU, is a comedy series.
Yeah, this shit's gonna be woke as fuck and probably woke as fuck. I mean, I'm not saying it's fucking boring and stupid as fuck, and I have my reasons for
what
that.
What they've done is they've told all the fans of the comics. Well, they told us to fuck off a long time ago. Yeah. But now they're telling the fans of like the Phase 1 and Phase 2 movies,
Normies.
F you, we don't want you. We want the Pirates of the Caribbean people.
Right.
Because that's what's happening. I mean,
Yeah.
tell me if I'm wrong. What I'm seeing is they're turning the MCU into Pirates of the Caribbean.
I would. That's I mean, Pirates of the Caribbean is pretty fucking awesome. That's fucking Gore Verbinski, in my humble
That's
opinion.
what it is, though. But it's supposed to be.
That's not
funny
even
pirates.
good.
That's its own thing.
That's what it's supposed to be. Funny pirates. It's not. Everything ain't supposed to be funny.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You know?
And I understand that they're like, people like to laugh. Okay. But you can have, that doesn't mean you can't have some humor, but they're going too far into the comedy. That was my problem with Guardians of the Galaxy Part 2. Now it's just a comedy.
Everything after Avengers was weeding the fuck out. That's just what happened. Everybody's a teenager. Everyone acts like a teenager, and then you throw in the woke shit, and then you got fucking bullshit. Sorry. Phase 1 is where it's at.
And how much Werewolf by Night are we going to get in this? Because I actually watched all episodes of their Moon Knight series, and there was a total, I think, maybe 6 minutes.
Boy, it sure felt like a TV show, didn't it? The whole budget. It's like, fuck, man.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what?
Like,
fuck these TV
yourself.
shows. I'm over this fucking like episodic bullshit. Just make a fucking movie. Fuck it.
I mean,
if you can't do it right, then just make a movie or don't make it.
Make both, because let's face it, this is the golden age. This is still the golden age of television. The golden age of American cinema was in the 70s. This is the golden age of television. The standard, the basic quality of just all the stuff compared to what was on TV in the 70s, the 80s, the 90s.
It's all woke trash, though.
A lot of the stuff.
That's the problem.
Later.
A lot of the streaming series I've seen have been much better than the movies they're putting out. Much better.
Yeah, the money's
right.
They're injecting all the money into TV, all the major studios and stuff.
Right.
So Moon Knight
they're gonna make Daredevil goofy. Right. They're gonna make Daredevil goofy. They've already addressed. I mean, Charlie Cox was like, yeah, I think you could maybe have be a little bit more lighthearted, but it shouldn't be a comedy. It's like
he's on She-Hulk, I guess, right? Isn't he in She-Hulk?
Yes,
and he's also in Spider-Man, the last Spider-Man movie, right? I haven't seen the last Spider-Man movie. I wanted to watch it.
It is a pleasure,
dude. There's all these fucking movies I wanted to watch.
Really good. It's
and I haven't seen any of them. There's so many, like all the superhero movies that came out. I haven't even seen any of them.
You can't keep up, dude. I remember when there was 10 years between every comic book or superhero movie.
Yeah,
right.
Totally.
And now it's just a tsunami. And the only shit that I really follow is like the Doom Patrol series. I love to pieces. I think that's brilliant. The Daredevil series was fantastic.
That was great. That was a great show.
The Luke Cage series was good. The first season of Alias. Well, they had to change the name to Jessica Jones. I thought that was really good. Iron Fist was a catastrophe, of course.
I don't think I ever finished. I might have. That shit was boring as fuck.
Boring as fuck.
Punisher got boring as fuck too. Like,
I didn't even watch.
I think there was like 10 episodes, and then like maybe 3 of them were fucking cool, and there was all this filler bullshit that didn't need to be.
I turned it off.
It should have just been Criminal of the Week. I would have just made it Criminal of the Week, and I don't know what I don't like what they do.
And I hate John Byrne. I really dislike John Bernthal in that part. I really do. I know a lot of people are just like, "Oh no, he's the best ever." No, that's the Punisher for jocks.
I think he's perfectly casted, but I think he could have played it a little differently. Maybe he just kind of.
Looks-wise is
I don't know.
Fine. I mean, he shouldn't be like a pretty boy like Thomas Jane.
Like kind of went like Bell did in Dark Knight. You know what I mean? Like he had it more reserved.
He had roid rage.
Right.
You know what I'm talking? Like in Batman Begins, he was like, someone who'll rattle the cages, and then later on, it's like, where's the trigger? And before he's like, someone who'll rattle the cages. Like a little more like scale back, and this fool Bernthal,
Right.
Like just dude, you don't gotta yell. Just fucking.
It's like he's got roid rage.
He's like,
you don't have to.
Never yelled at anybody.
No,
he's like
fucking
Stallone. He's
stoic.
like fucking Rambo.
He's stoic. I mean, Rambo screams sometimes when he's shooting a gun. Because it's fucking, but not the whole show.
But the Punisher, because Rambo is hot-blooded.
Yeah. But still, like
Punisher said, "Is I'm gonna kill you, you bastard."
But that's when he's shooting a big old gun.
Slit your throat without blow your head off with a shotgun
Stoic.
without his pulse even going to
He's
up
a fucking
lip.
skull, dude, in the dark.
Yeah.
That's what he is.
Yeah.
It's real
Yep.
simple. I'll make it real simple for you. He's a skull in the fucking dark.
They
You don't need to make a
definitely
sound.
turned him into a guy with a roid rage. That
I
was the
know.
way I looked at it. It was like Bernthal had roid rage when he was doing that part.
Oh.
Punisher just wasn't like that. He was
No,
way
I agree.
more,
I agree
way
with that.
more quiet and it's the
He
quiet.
was even
one.
more quiet in
Yeah.
Daredevil. Like when he goes up and takes that guy out in the fucking the mechanic and picks up the wrench or the pipe or something like that. You know, like he
Yeah.
was a little more reserved. You know what I mean? And then it kind of,
Yes.
I don't know, but I do like
Yeah.
him. I think he looks like a John Romita Jr. Punisher, like right out of the pages.
Yeah, no, I mean, he has the look. He has the look.
Yeah, he looks. He's the Punisher. I also think Stallone would have looks like the Punisher too. It would have been a good one too.
Well, he wanted to play the Executioner, which was the series of books that inspired
Mac
the
Bolan,
Punisher.
yeah.
Mac Bolan.
Mac Bolan,
Mhm.
good
And he actually
stuff,
had plans. He actually had plans for that, and he said it was going to be basically the Executioner meets Scarface.
I started watching his movie. He has a superhero movie out on. I forgot the name of it. Oh, it's called. I forgot the name. It's on Prime right now, but it's kind of slow and a little boring. But I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna finish it. I can't.
Vigilante? Is that what
It's like
called?
Sovereign or so. Fuck, I forget. I can't.
Samaritan.
Samaritan. There we go.
Right.
And
right,
and he's got the gladiator mask from Gladiator. That's like his thing.
kind of.
He's got a twin brother that's bad, and he was a good one, and like they both fucking would fight in their vigilantes. So they got that super soldier thing. It's PG-13 though. You know what I mean? And he's trying to save this kid from fucking falling into a gang, and the leader of the gang is some fucking like Nordic actor from Game of Thrones, put on like a fucking East Coast accent, and so yeah, I'll check it out because I like Stallone. I'll watch anything with him in it now. So,
that's the thing. Stallone's lucky because his face has aged in a really awesome way.
yeah,
Right?
I'm a Stan Lone fan. Stan Lone.
One of the things that the camera loves is an interesting face, and now he has a really interesting face.
You know what? You can remember when everybody used to laugh at Stallone about Rocky and Rambo and shit.
Oh,
But
what a
with the
dummy.
shit that we're getting nowadays, that shit's gonna be classic, man.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Now, whose hand is this here?
That's Man Thing. It's got to be.
I think so too.
Yeah,
And that's Werewolf by Night he's grabbing. It looks like it's it's weird. I think this has potential to be a fun show, but people are probably gonna be like, "Fuck that," because all their shit sucks, and we're probably
what's
gonna
up,
miss it.
Biden crisis?
But it's gonna be woke, dude. I guarantee you. I guarantee you.
And that's the thing. It's like they fucked me too many times before.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And will I check it out?
That's what I'm saying.
I have
man.
to.
It's like, but let me know.
All I have to say
movies I
is
missed
the Electra movie. They screwed me way long time ago.
Well, I mean, the Electra
I bought it.
The Electra that's in that
like it.
movie and the Daredevils and the Daredevil one with the movie with Ben Affleck
Uh-huh.
is a different character.
Yeah.
It's not Electra. It's a
Not
completely
at all.
different
Yeah,
character.
Not at all.
Yeah.
Once
and
you
that's what I
accept
mean.
that, it's
So-
okay.
So
But-
I knew way back a long time ago that they can throw you a curveball and not give us what we think we're going to get because they did it to me a long time ago.
Whenever I think of that Ben Affleck movie, I always think of that yarmulke fucking like mask he's got is like the top, just like a little cap on
it
his
looks
fucking
like a bandana tied
so
behind it.
fucking stupid. Oh my god!
I
It's
actually,
like, why can't you make a spandex suit?
Yeah, they put him in leather because they figured like, well, that at least would offer some protection, right? I actually liked the Daredevil movie, but I found it incredibly frustrating.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
like, you got that right. You messed that up. The
I love
fact
that movie
that
when it
he
came
gets
out.
blinded,
Yeah,
the fact
I
that
love
he
that
gets
shit.
blinded like by accident rather than performing a heroic deed,
Uh-huh.
right? Like that was always important to me, that he was blinded by that radioactive isotope falling on his eyes because it was an old man that was going to get hit.
Yeah, he pushed somebody out the road
And
or
pushed him out of the way, and that's
always good.
how he ended up losing his
Heroics,
sight.
it's always
Exactly.
admirable,
Yeah, absolutely. So they did some things right. The director's cut of that is a genuinely good movie.
I was about to say that movie's the shit. I'm saying I love the director's cut,
Yeah.
And I even liked his fucking Daredevil or his Ghost Rider. There's stuff in there, there's like a lot
There's
of cool
stuff to
stuff in
like.
there.
Yeah.
There's some cool stuff
And
in
a
there. It's a
sequel,
gothic
too.
western too. The sequel was cool too. I like that too, but they could have been a lot better in a lot of ways too. But
Indeed.
still
Indeed.
better than a lot of the Marvel shit right now. A lot of these old
shit.
Marvel
Horrible.
fucking pre-phase one movies like the Hulk and I'm talking Eric Bana. Even the fucking Ang Lee Hulk is better than a lot of this shit. I like that Ang Lee Hulk. See, back when that movie was coming out, I was waiting. I would tape the fucking Super Bowl spots. We're waiting for the Super Bowl motherfucking spot to come on. All right, where's that Super Bowl spot? I want to see that fucking Ang Lee trailer. You know, like I was, dude. You didn't get comic movies that much back then.
No, you didn't.
Know?
No, you didn't. So when the Hulk movie came out, I was stoked.
Yeah.
I
liked it, but I wanted more.
I didn't, because I felt like, it treated the material seriously, but it was ponderous. There wasn't enough fun. Do you know what I'm saying?
There was no fun.
And also, the one thing that we never get, ever get with the Hulk is Sad Hulk.
Yeah.
And Sad Hulk is heartbreaking.
Yeah, it's pretty bad, dude.
Even in like the that newer series, I forgot who the writer was, when they just
full horror.
It was just done as like a horror story.
Fucking awesome.
There's a moment in that, because the Hulk's a little bit smarter.
It was Al Ewing. I guess what it was.
Yes.
That's fucking awesome, dude.
Amazing.
So
Amazing.
So good.
And there's one scene where he's just like, why Hulk have to feel bad all the time?
Yeah.
And it's just like, oh shit. I mean, it's because he's a really tragic character.
I love the Hulk, man. That's what I grew up on, dude. You know what I mean?
Like, me too.
That's what my dad that was my dad's favorite character, is the Hulk. You know, and like the Lou Ferrigno shit. And I remember
and now we got Soy Hulk
beanie, and I had a Hulk toy, a little plastic one. You know,
you have the plastic muscles.
Yeah, and he was plastic. He had like purple. He had purple like pants, like actual fabric pants. You know. And he had these strings that was strings inside of him that would pull the muscle, like pull the arms and legs together, you know. And I had a Hulk beanie, dude, and I was like 3, you know. So I think Hulk was it was Hulk and Batman, or one of the two, but Hulk was always, my pops' favorite, dude. And I always loved the Hulk. I met Lou Ferrigno. Did I tell you my Lou Ferrigno story?
Mm-hmm.
No, please share.
I think you did. I heard it. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was at the Wizard Con, like fucking right, and this was right when Punisher came out with Thomas Jane. So they had his costume there from the movie, and his car was at the Long Beach Convention Center, Wizard Con.
Okay.
And I see Lou Ferrigno. I'm like, fuck, I'm gonna go meet Lou Ferrigno. I met Sid Haig that day too, and it was right when House of Thousand Corpses just came out. And I'm like, oh, Lou Ferrigno. I'm like, man, me and my pops, we used to watch your show, and fucking right when it came back with Thor, and the 3 movies. Oh man, I love this. Oh yeah, so you're gonna buy a photo or what? You gonna buy a photo or what? I'm like, no, man. Have nice talking to you. I just walked away.
I've never heard a good story about him.
You gonna buy a photo or what? You gonna buy a photo? No,
I've never heard a good story about him. RT Bear had a horrendous experience.
That one was way better. He was telling that shit like a few weeks ago on Ethan's show. I was like,
that's
that sounds about right. I was listening to that shit.
Yeah. There are certain people I know I will never approach at a convention. Let's take a look at the chat real quick.
ID Crisis.
ID. What's up, brother? Link is out if you feel like hopping in. Does anybody remember Rex Smith as Daredevil? Well, I do, mofo. Of course.
That was on the Hulk, right? That was on the Hulk.
The Trial of the Incredible Hulk.
That was like the 3 movies they were making. They did 3.
They did, didn't
they?
The
Death of the Incredible Hulk. He got fucking
huge. The Death
of
the Incredible Hulk.
He got bigger and bigger and bigger. Thor's in one of them. Daredevil's in one, and then there's one more actor, I think, in the third one. I forgot who it was. But they were trying to
crazy?
Get greenlit for another one. And Stan Lee did his first appearance in one of them in Trial of the Hulk. And he got huge, fucking Ferrigno. Hey, I don't even give a fuck if that fool got mad at me. I'd still go up to him. Hey, what up, dude? Hey, you were being a little punk last time I talked to you. What? Fuck you. Thing is, I don't hold shit against people. Imagine if you were fucking second place to Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, the thing is, as fuck, man.
But he's still big, and he's bigger than him. And sometimes he got bigger than him. Like during those Hulk movies in the '90s that we're talking, he was fucking huge in that time. But I don't hold shit against people. That shit's soy as fuck. I'd still go up to him, and he's just pissed off all the time, dude.
Yeah.
Fuck it, and he's deaf too. I'm sure he got beat up all the time.
No, I mean, look, I try not to judge, and I try to be really forgiving. But if people are just awful to their fans, it's like, okay, you need to chickadee check yourself before you wreck yourself.
I would just
I don't
tell
care
him
who you are.
No,
right?
no,
and mind you, I love that scene in The Incredible Hulk where Edward Norton comes in and he's like the doorman. He's like the security guard, right? It gives him all the pizzas. He's just like, He's like, "You're the man." He's like, "No, you're the man."
And
I was just like,
he voices them a lot too.
Yes,
like in
and he did the
games and
yeah.
in a lot of different things, you know. And
Yeah.
I fucking love the Hulk, man.
Yeah.
It's just so cool. I loved seeing. That was one of the best comics like series I read. Like towards the end.
Oh my
you
god!
Know? And Al Ewing, Joe Bennett, he came to Comicsgate too, but no one really talks. Like he hasn't really made anything, but he jumped over.
Okay.
And his art, dude, the fucking so inspiring. Oh my god!
Oh my
this
god!
I like when they ripped them apart and put them in different like in different jars. And he's like, oh, like fucking
yeah,
cool.
His
That
head's
dude
all
with
angry.
the arm gun, with the gun would come out of his arm, all fucking gross, like body horror.
Yeah,
like Cronenberg
Bushwhacker,
style.
was that his name?
I think so, man. Like there was some cool shit in there. Yeah,
that was awesome.
Mwah.
That was awesome. Really, really good. Like you couldn't believe that it came out like recently.
Like
right?
didn't deserve it type shit.
Yeah, pretty much. The thing that's weird about Rex Smith as Daredevil in the Trial of the Incredible Hulk is the costume that he has. It's just like this black jumpsuit.
What to say?
And it actually looks almost exactly like the John Romita Daredevil Year One.
Frank Miller
costume.
One, right?
Yeah.
Fucking
almost
Frank Miller.
Like,
Fool's got his hands in everything.
I know.
Right?
Well, dude,
so many little like.
He's a legend. He's a fucking icon, right? Even when he said some shit that I disagreed with, does that change the fact that he's a fucking legend and a fucking icon? No fucking way. No fucking
facts,
way.
You know what I mean?
It's just facts.
Sometimes people are gonna say shit. You know, you can't agree with everybody all the time.
Yes, yes. Wear a cup. Don't be such a pussy. You know. But of course, you know how people are, especially these days. Anyway, we need to talk about tonight's movie. Yeah, we're like an hour in, and we haven't even brought it up. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So, Messiah of Evil. It's a movie by is it Gloria Katz and William Hike, I think.
I almost want to say the trailer we just watched was better than this.
Don't you dare. Don't you dare.
Man.
Blasphemy. Blasphemy.
Oh, man. Blasting on me. All right.
So Willard and Gloria Hike Gloria Katz and Hike were in the same class at UCLA Film School. That's to say, the same class, like this was the class, right? John Milius, Steven Spielberg, and George Lucas. And not Coppola, I don't think, but I think Carpenter. Carpenter, I think, was the next year. But somebody, yeah. Anyway, so they knew everybody, and they cut their teeth by making tonight's movie, Messiah of Evil.
Okay.
They are basically infamous now. Okay. At first, things seemed to go okay because they wrote the screenplay for Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. Right? So they were people like Joe Johnstone, right? Where they're like tight with like that bunch of people, and they're hip to working with them, right?
Right.
So that comes out. It's a success. And they're given finally a chance to write and direct a big budget movie. Howard the Duck. Howard the Duck is a name that is synonymous with failure because of them. Because that movie came out. Personally, I just don't think that... Okay, here's what they did wrong with Howard the Duck. George Lucas had to turn it into this big production when a Howard the Duck movie should have been low budget, indie, quirky, rough around the edges. Maybe some of the special effects would look a little janky, right? But it would at least have like some heart and some spirit and could actually take some fucking chances, right?
Man.
And be brave. And the Howard the Duck movie is... not as bad as everybody said it was.
I remember watching it as a kid and like being like, all right, let's watch this. Cool. And then I would get like halfway through the movie and be like, damn, I fucking hate this movie. And then towards the end, the bad guy from Beetlejuice, I forgot his name, the character actor.
Yeah.
I like him.
Jeffrey Jones.
Jeffrey Jones, and he just gets all evil, and then he kind of comes back, and it's more and more evil. And then as a kid, I'm like, he's scary. I'm gonna watch it, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It's and it sucks because that also damaged the career of his creator, Steve Gerber, because he was hot at the time. He was a hot property. And that movie comes out. It's a huge bomb. Like I said, synonymous with failure. And what's the biggest thing he had on his resume? I created Howard the Duck.
I created Howard the Duck tits.
Yeah. So it was a fiasco. It was a fiasco. And one more word about Howard the Duck. I think it was, I forget who this is. Was it Jason Aaron? It was somebody from the comic book world who was writing Star Wars comics, and I think it was Jason Aaron. I think he was writing the Darth Vader comic or something.
Duck Vader.
So Darth Vader. So regardless of who this was, they got to go into like the Lucasfilm vaults, right? Like remember that gigantic room, that warehouse at the last shot of Raiders of the Lost Ark?
Yeah.
Like
they
that.
They go back there in Crystal Skull, and the fool starts swinging around like fucking Spider-Man in there.
I haven't seen
it's
seen
tight
that.
as fuck. It's so stupid, but it's tight. He's like doing all this fucking crazy superhero shit.
Oh, they actually go back to that room.
Yeah.
That's actually a cool idea. But anyway, so he's checking all these all these different items out. He said Yoda was toe the fuck up. Toe the fuck up. Because because this was like one of the pieces that would tour museums.
Right. No, I've seen that shit. The Smithsonian.
And I mean, who's not going to fuck with the fucking Yoda puppet a little bit,
fucking
right?
Kermit the Frog, dude. Those things get fucked up.
Yeah, exactly. And that's fine. It means they've been loved, right?
Yeah.
He said nearby, sitting in a glass case, pristine Howard the Duck.
Oh, that's fucked up, dude. Like, get that duck out of here. I ain't touching that duck.
Yeah,
Fuck that
so
duck.
that was it was a career-ending catastrophe.
This is a career-ending move.
And it's sad because these folks made what is considered nowadays a classic, and also one of the greatest lost films, one of the greatest lost horror movies of all time. It's let's see here. It's on a bunch of different lists. Dread Central put it on a top 10. It's on a lot of film comments also. One of the snootier cinema magazines ranked this as like one of the top 10 lost American horror films. I discovered it when I don't know if you remember these fellas there.
I can't see, brother.
And Big and myself.
And Biggins.
You ever see these?
No. Oh, dude, Dead Time Stories. My wife was just watching that today. It's on I think on HBO or some shit. I don't know if it's a new one or what, but
it has no connection.
Oh, okay.
No
you know what I'm talking. You know what I'm talking.
Yeah,
about,
I know what
right?
you're talking about. Yeah. Scott Valentine is in that. Who was in My Demon Lover, which had demon designs by Bernie Wrightson.
Oh, that's tight.
Which is the only reason I sat through that piece of shit.
I came home from work and the TV was on, and it had like this fucking dude with his flesh getting ripped off today. And I was like, what the fuck are you watching? I'm like, what is this shit? And I put it on pause, and it was that shit right there. That's random as fuck.
All right. What did you guys think about this movie?
Pops, you go first.
I think I already did.
Did you watch the movie or not?
Yes.
Fess up.
Yes, I did.
Right,
that's why I'm saying I'm not sure that it was any better than the trailer we just watched. I was like,
so you weren't hip to it. It didn't stir your loins. It didn't.
It did not give me a sense of horror.
Okay.
It didn't make me go, ha! or anything. You know, it was like okay.
It didn't even make you. It didn't even make you kind of go, ugh.
Well, yeah, it made me do that a few times.
But that's a legitimate feeling that you can get from horror films. Where
no, I mean,
so this didn't have. You didn't feel that there was any atmosphere of dread in this.
No, I wasn't taken down that road. I don't know.
Okay.
To me, it was kind of funny.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah. Why did I bust these out? Yeah, I was making a point. These were like the Brentwood DVD sets.
What are those? Bootios? What are they?
Yeah. Big packs, right? 10 movies, 10 Nights of Terror. It lists the movies on the back.
And what movies are in there?
I'm looking for my reading glasses because I need them these days. I'll get them in a minute. Anyway, Horror Hotel, Death in Love House, Snake People, Track of the Moon Beast, A Carnival of Souls, Wolfman. A lot of these movies were public domain, so they could freely put this shit out. And you would find these in your wherever you got your DVDs. And these were, I think, about $20. So it's like 10 movies for $20. Okay. Right. Thing is these sets would often have like copies of movies that I already had better copies of.
Right.
And the real reason that you bought the real reason why you bought these was because you were hoping to find a buried treasure.
Right.
And that's where I saw Messiah of Evil for the first time. And I remember watching it, and it was the version that I linked to on YouTube. That's legit. Wait, hold on. This will get straight here. The YouTube link that's in the description, that's a beautiful Blu-ray transfer. Like, it looks fantastic because I bought the DVD of this, and this looks like 100 times better. I've never seen this movie look this good, and it uses color in really interesting ways that really pay off. Okay, so it opens in an asylum, and first, actually, it opens with this dude who's being chased by some unseen assailants. He's like seemingly rescued by a kind girl. He's like kissing her hand here, almost kind of like a religious kind of a move. And then she slits his throat with a straight razor,
which was really funny. You see what I'm saying? It was funny, dude.
Check this out. This guy is went on to become a very successful and very famous writer and director. That's Walter Hill, the guy who directed 48 Hours,
The Warriors,
The Long Riders, The Warriors, Streets of Fire. Right? Evidently, he got a copy of this, brought it home, and showed it to his wife. And he was like, "Oh man, there's this great actor in this. Like, you got to see this. I'm like, this is some of the best acting I've ever seen." And he throws it on, and they watch it, and he's kind of like waiting for a response. She had no idea that it was him. She couldn't even recognize him. It's like, shit. But yeah, he also was in that same class that the rest of these future cinema giants would become part of. Oh, ID's chilling. What up? What up, ID?
Hey.
What's going on, brother?
Okay, I just stepped out of work for a couple of minutes.
I'm sorry if I left you waiting there. No,
I wasn't sure if you how you can hear the chime. So I left and came back in so that you could hear the chime again.
No, I got so much better at this once I enabled that clunking sound. This
yeah, right.
It's like, thank goodness, because I think I once had like Graham Nolan or somebody just like sitting, like waiting to come on a stream.
He's like,
No,
all right,
no,
fuck
I've
you
done that.
guys. I'm out of here.
When it's almost like when you're the only person and you're just engaged in anything else, you can miss chats and stuff like that. Because in some things you got to turn the volume down so they don't interrupt what you're doing. But that old wino, I remember him from somewhere, and I cannot for the life of me think of what it is right now.
The Rhino?
The wino.
The
The
wino.
drunk.
Yes. That is Elisha Cook Jr., who is like a really famous, maybe even the king of the character actors.
Yeah,
And
his
he
face
was a
is
guy
familiar.
who had a remarkable face. He was in a lot of westerns, obviously, but you would see he's in Blackula. Remember, he's like
yeah, he's the guy. Yeah, he's the guy that gets that one scene that's in slow mo. Yeah,
he dies in a lot of stuff.
Yeah, well,
here he dies off screen, but
yeah, there's kind of some strange living habits among the heroes. Like the one dude's carting around a teenage girl. I mean, that wouldn't fly today.
Well, is she teenage? I mean, I don't know. Both of those girls look pretty experienced to me, but I'm sure they were legal, right?
And he's familiar too. I've seen him in a bunch of stuff. Wasn't he in like I could swear I'd have seen him in like no, it wasn't The Rock. It was something else. But he's got that shape to his brow and his nose. It's like super recognizable.
Yeah,
he got like gray hair and shit.
He looks kind of like Stephen Fry a little bit, and it's not John Finlay. It's actually let me look that up real quick. It's never a bad idea to have
IMDb up on a tab.
Let me see. But yeah, dude, what did you think about this movie?
I thought, well, not one of my favorites. In fact, I'm trying to get into the mindset when I'm watching these, what it is that makes you pick them, and because they're classics, that's one.
Right.
And then when, like you're saying, it's like a really good Blu-ray copy, so now you're watching all of the stuff like we were talking about last week, where the blood is too red, or you can tell like where some of the makeup doesn't hold up because everything is super high def.
Right.
And but I thought there was too much exposition, the voiceovers and some of this stuff, and maybe that's because I'm like, like when you're trying to do a comic book, you want the pictures to speak for everything, and but it was with like two different people. You never hear them speaking.
There's something about this movie. There's something about this movie that always felt unfinished. And
and that's sort of like how they try to put icing on it with those voiceovers.
Right. And why is there no cast? Oh no, here it is. Okay, so Michael Greer is the actor.
Yeah, that's
it. About, right? Nobody got paid entirely what they were owed for this movie. The only people who got entirely paid were the
audience. If I'm going to be on Pops' side, the audience didn't get paid either.
So this cat, right? So what happened was
a comic book first, was it?
No, the two cops that we see later in this movie pulled him over and were just like, pay us. Like, we're gonna like lock you up until we get paid. Arrangements were made, and the cops were the only people that got their money because they had guns.
You mean the two cops that were in the movie were actual cops?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, here.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's one of the most interesting facts I've ever heard about him.
Oh well.
Now, the albino guy, that was interesting. That actually made me go back and look up who was the albino in Foul Play, because I remember I would have been like 8 years old when I saw that albino chasing Goldie Hawn around the library, going, "That's freaky. That's weird."
Yeah, this dude was also in Lamora, Lady Dracula, also known as Lamora, A Child's Tale of the Supernatural. I highly recommend that. If you like this and you could get into it, just get off on just the sheer surrealism. That's definitely worth a look. He's also he's also in that movie.
What is it with the multiple titles though? Is that an Italian thing?
It's
because like on the last one, it was Cannibal Apocalypse and also Cannibals in the Streets.
Yeah, this only
and
has.
then it had another name. Okay.
The one movie that has the most titles for sure. I don't think it's even like a contest. Is The Living Dead at the Manchester Morgue, also known as Let Sleeping Corpses Lie. Awesome movie. Like the best non-George Romero zombie movie, like for sure.
Right.
And that has like 20 titles because I've got books that have all the titles.
Right.
Right. And by far that was the longest. This only I think was released as Messiah of Evil and Dead People. Dead People was like the only other title that that this had, I think.
Well, the posterized images were kind of creepy. Like I could see being in that house with life-size representations of the townspeople looking at you all the time.
Yes.
That actually reminded me of a scene from, what's that? Yeah. Or bigger, like if you've ever been in a dark room and the coat's hanging on the coat rack and you just for a second, you think it looks like someone.
Yes.
And now there's a room full of things like that on purpose. Of stuff looking back at you all the time. That would freak me out. It made me think of a scene in Spellbinder with Tim Daly and that other dude who played Slider and Top Gun about that dude who gets seduced by that witch chick.
Yeah,
it was like a made-for-TV. Yeah, kind of. Yeah, exactly. But there was that scene where all these faces are on the outside of the house, and they do that special effect where they just start pressing in, and the windows and the walls start to bend in. And it kind of that's like having all those faces in that room stare at you. That would be, I would not recommend to be in a room like that in dim light.
It's really, really spooky. The murals in this were done by a friend, an artist friend of Willard Hike and Gloria Katz. I don't know the person's name, but they had this artist come in and do all of these murals.
That one's cool too. It lines up with their head.
And they didn't get paid either.
And probably not. They
didn't get paid. Yeah, but for an artist, that's normal.
It is.
Take it from me. You get boned on a couple of projects.
Oh, without a doubt.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. Freelancers in general. But these murals, what's great is that they're never openly sinister. But there's something just really creepy and unsettling about it. One of the things that's really effective about this movie is that in my case, certainly, it really got under my skin. It's almost like I wouldn't say it's subliminal. I mean, you notice these things, right? Especially visual motifs, and certainly you realize, oh, they're doing this thing with these murals, and there's no way that they showed up to this location and that shit and this shit is on the wall.
Well, look at her head; she's part of the you know what I mean, the scope into that, and then the girl in the bathtub is in line with the silhouette. This isn't
one of the things you got to understand too is you have to grade on a curve, right? This is an incredibly low budget movie. They had no money when they made this. Right. Okay. Obviously, people were not getting paid.
They didn't even have a gore budget, really. Like, not too much.
No, not at all. Not at all.
I think this movie could have benefited from a little bit of gore, like during the feast sequences.
Yes, I totally agree with that. And also, there's something about this movie that always felt unfinished. And the bit with the asylum was how they kind of put the thing together. Right.
Like I think that scene in the movie theater, dude, like where you're like, oh, she's fucked. Like that was scary. You know what I mean?
Now that was good.
They showed the gore.
Yeah, I did like
meeting the mouse.
That was good.
Too. But like the main scariest part and also in the supermarket, if all that had gore in it, it would be cool. But the auditorium scene in the movie theater, that was scary. And also the scene at the end when the narrator, I think it's the main narrator, he comes in, he talks to the girl. The scene where she lights him on fire and he does this crazy scream, like like this fucking screaming, and he was scary. Like he just because they have him in silhouette, like he's a black.
Yes,
he's clad in shadow, and then he just comes out and he's like, "I got bit in the face, motherfucker!" Like I don't know, like Dave Chappelle or something. He just pops out. And so that was pretty scary, dude. I thought that was for me, that was the scariest part of the movie for some reason. I don't know why.
Well,
yeah,
I mean,
see that thing in the movie theater has a body snatchers effect.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. Exactly what I was thinking.
Well, it's because we think
the people around you are not people.
Yeah, like they're not even looking.
Right.
You know they're gonna fucking look as soon as you know that they know.
Well, they don't
that head turn.
But they don't. That's what's one of the things that's so effective about this scene, right? This girl, you know, I mean, I'm assuming she's, you know, 21.
Isn't that Luke Skywalker?
Well, she's here's the thing, okay? Here's
that's that chick from 80s and Up or something.
It's a Luke Skywalker.
Yeah. Okay. This is the deal. What's his face? Michael Greer's character, Tom. Is like a Mac Daddy.
Yeah, right.
A prince, right? At first you think, man, this dude's an alpha Chad. No, he's just rich.
Right.
And lives in a castle in Portugal, has a castle in Portugal. So, you know, this guy's going to get more ass than a toilet seat. Yeah. And he's going around with one chick who is cute as a freaking button and another one that's smoking hot, right? So you've got the debate, right? Of, well, who do you go for? Do you go for like the for the hot chick, or do you go for the cute chick? He's got them both.
Yeah, there's that. The one with the black hair, I kept thinking, reminded me like both of them. They had this like a Jim Steranko girl physique.
Oh yeah,
like if you pulled it's like if you pulled their shirts down, you would see that line that represents cleavage would be missing.
Yes.
They both have that classic look to them, you know.
And it's been, I think, mostly because of their cheek line.
Yeah,
you know how you would always get that cheek line in there. But
she has she has like a strong jaw, high cheekbones.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and she's a stunner. I'm pretty sure she's Eurasian. And there's something.
I thought you were going to say your age. I'm like, okay, great.
Probably is now.
Bro.
Those Eurasian chicks are just fucking.
Thanks for backing the book, bro. I appreciate it, man.
Oh no, without a doubt. Now I gotta read. I just got done reading Shadow of the Kraken last night. That thing was pretty good. Right? I mean, and
really good.
Yeah, it was good. And I don't want to take a ton of time talking about it because I got to go back into work. I'm going to listen to the rest of this and figure out what the movie is for next week. I'll be able to hang out longer. But yeah, I mean, the artwork in that was another one of those. I thought of you, Matt, whenever I was reading it, because it's another one-man show.
Oh, Vinny, yeah.
And it's pretty impressive. Yeah. That,
I love Vinny's art.
How do you pronounce his name? Tartamella?
Tartamella.
He also Tartamella.
He did a really good horror book called Through the Woods. That one's fucking badass.
I have that too.
I recommend that one.
Dude, I'm telling you what, I wish I had more money. God help me that the day that anybody in my family feels like, by that I mean my wife, feels like going through and seeing how much money's going into these books.
Oh yeah.
But as long as stuff is getting done to the house and the toilet still flushes.
I've been strapped for cash, man, and so I can't back a lot of the stuff
Me
I
too,
want to
man.
back.
Me
Hopefully,
too, brother.
my fucking campaign. Everybody, get me to 50K so I can buy all your books.
I'm gonna. But no, you're welcome. I'm looking forward to reading it.
Thank you.
I'm gonna duck back into work here and keep listening.
All right,
Thanks
brother.
for coming through, brother.
All right, we'll try to entertain you. Peace out, man.
Later, brother.
All right, see ya.
Yeah,
bye.
always good. Always good talking to that dude. But yeah, I mean, come on, man. This chick is smoking hot. Smoking
I didn't even
hot.
think about that. She does look like has that classic look to her, comic book style.
Right?
Steranko.
Yeah.
This movie does have some cool shots in it, dude, and some fucking some creepy shit in it. You know what I mean?
It's really well shot.
And it's
That's
got
the thing about
cool concept in it, and the fucking voiceovers. You know, it kept reminding me of Dracula a little bit, the novel. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Taken from different diaries, but obviously they're voiceovers. But you're always like, who the fuck are they talking about? I'm not gonna lie to you, dude. I'm a little fucking like, I have to watch things twice sometimes. Like this one, I was having trouble trying to like catch on. Like I was getting like trying to figure out like, are they fucking artists or what? Or is this
if you think it's the deal is that homeboy Tom is a
I mean, I know he's
a playboy. He's
money.
A playboy,
okay.
right?
Okay.
He's old money, and so a guy like him is going to be jaded as fuck.
Okay.
Right? You could think of it. He's done it. And so
I
that's
see.
why he's gotten into the occult.
Oh, okay. So he got into the occult. All right.
He got into the occult, not as a practitioner, but as a scholar.
Okay.
And basically, here's the secret of this movie. A lot of people miss it.
I'm sure I did, dude. And I was watching on my phone.
Oh, dude, you can't watch a movie on a phone. Come on, bro.
Sometimes I have to. I just gotta.
I understand. It's all good. It's The Shadow over Innsmouth by H.P. Lovecraft. That's what this is, except the monsters are swapped. The fishmen are swapped. The deep ones are swapped with these undead. Right?
They're like demon possessed though, like because from what I forgot too, the fucking the exposition of the man that visits from the water of the red sun.
Yeah.
The exposition that was a cool scene too, man, where you see like the
fantastic
coming up the cowboy
on the beach. That's creepy as fuck, dude.
And he talks to him. Like for me, that was another scary scene.
Yes.
He just jumps over the fire and like eats him or something, and you figure, well, this guy's like either a demon or he's demon possessed or he's the devil, something along those lines. This guy. And it reminded me of Kane from Poltergeist 2 a little bit.
Yes.
How he just comes up, you know what I mean? Like a cult leader too. He kind of has that Kane look, you know?
Yes, without a doubt. We find out that, and this is a scene that's at the end of the movie. It should have been in the middle.
Yeah, dude. It would have helped the fucking the flow of the movie a lot better, dude. You know what I mean? Just that a little bit more gore, little tweaks here and there. Like give him like another couple bucks. You know, the movie would I think it would have been a lot better. My
guess is that this was the climax, but this was all that they could shoot. And then the rest of the movie they edited in such a way, and they came up with that device of the insane asylum to basically make the thing work, and as a coherent story, which it is. I mean, this is straight up Lovecraftian horror, is what it is. We find out that it's Lovecraft without being directly like Cthulhu mythos. This guy was a member of the Donner Party and had consumed human flesh, right? And then he attacks and partially devours the guy that he just explained this to, and I guess he lives long enough. And this also is an indication that this movie was unfinished, right? It's just like, well, they find him half eaten, then how is he going to fucking tell them the story, right? Who's the witness? You don't have a witness. So like, oh, he said this before he died. He told the story before he died. Okay, whatever. What's happening is the people of the town are turning into a type of undead. They're not zombies. They're dead. They're definitely undead. That's for sure.
Definitely, I think they're possessed cannibals for sure. Like demon possessed cannibals. That's what I got. I mean, that's what I got.
Yeah, something like that, right? I didn't see them as I don't think they. I didn't perceive them as demon possessed. You might be right though, but so much as changed, and that was one of the themes in The Shadow over Innsmouth, where the hero discovers. I don't know if you two guys are familiar with the story.
No,
Shadow over Innsmouth.
I haven't read any Lovecraft.
Oh,
no. I'm familiar with Lovecraft and Cthulhu and the cosmic gods and a lot of
This guy goes,
but I haven't read any of the books yet.
This guy goes to a coastal town, It reeks. It stinks. Lovecraft goes into heavy duty details. One of his greatest stories, more like a novella, actually.
That's like where he's from.
Yes. And he discovers that the town's descendants are a hybrid race of humans and fishmen called the Deep Ones, right?
Yeah, I've heard about that.
And who worship the god Dagon. And they also, I think...
Heard of that.
Right? And so basically what you have is you have a type of genetic engineering. And what they're doing is basically... when people when they're the half fishmen are born, they look normal, but as they age, they start to get the Innsmouth look, which is to say their eyes start to kind of like bug out, and and they start growing gills, and there's a certain point in their transformation where they just stay in the house and just wait until they're ready to go to the sea.
Sounds like Lovecraft.
Sounds like Lovecraft. In this case, these people are being transformed into like undead ghouls.
Well, like don't they eat? So they eat the flesh, right? And
yes.
It all has to do with the red sun or the red moon of the tide, and like.
Well, there's the red sun, right? Okay, so the stranger was a member of the Donner Party. He consumed human flesh and decided that he was going to worship a different god.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's not even necessarily mentioned as Satan.
Yeah, right. Well, I mean, I'm just doing, something dark.
Yeah.
So it's easier for me.
Yeah. No, I mean, you can. It's art. It can be interpreted a number of different ways.
Yeah.
So and I think the horror in this too is of turning into one of these things.
Oh, for
because
sure.
That's one of the themes in Shadow over Innsmouth, because the hero, when he gets the hell out of there, discovers that he's starting to get that Innsmouth look.
And then they put her in an asylum too, remember?
Yes.
At the end. So that I also thought too, like the beginning was scary.
Also Lovecraftian.
The beginning was scary. It sets you up, she's screaming down the hallway, like, and it ends the same way. It goes full circle, Yes. I thought that was a scary way to start a movie, a story,
Yes. And so what I think they did was that's what they did because that's all they could do. That's all they could afford. And so I think they used that device, which works very well, to make a telecoherent story. Because when you get to that scene at the end with a bonfire and the stranger coming out of the water, because what's happened is he's that's right. It was because it was 100 years ago with the Donner Party, right?
Yeah.
And he walked into the ocean. Oh wait, there was a huge massacre. That's right. Like he had turned, I guess, like a bunch of people into these undead cannibals. And they had attacked the town, and they had just torn it apart and eaten all the people. And the sun turned red, and then he said, "Yo, peace out. I'm going to be back in 100 years." And he walked into the ocean.
Yeah,
and
now
disappeared.
He's back.
And that's why at night there are the bonfires on the beach, because the people who were in like the undead cannibal cult are just standing there and just watching the ocean, looking up, waiting to see
signaling
yep.
And he was supposed to be her bride. The lady was supposed to be his bride, right? On the moon, and he was supposed to come back, and then they were going to spread their plague to the west, right?
Yes.
That's what they said, to the west. That's why I was thinking he was kind of like a demon, and it's kind of apocalyptical, and they're like deadites, or I don't know, kind of like flesh eating demon possessed people.
And that shot of him coming out of the ocean on the beach is creepy as fuck.
Yeah, like you could black and white that shit and it looked cool. You know what I mean? Like just grayscale it. It looked really cool.
Right. Now you see here, there's a bonfire and she's waiting, and she's dressed in a wedding dress. Gown.
Yeah.
And then she says something about like, they put me in a mental institution.
Yeah, the voiceover.
I mean, this is a clear. You can see that this, just from this shot, that this was part of a larger scene that they, I guess, didn't get to finish.
It almost feels like they were setting up a trilogy, dude. Like, well, like like it was gonna spread. Like that's what I was getting off of it. That
Well,
they're
there's a lot of
definitely gonna
George
make
Romero.
definitely
There's a lot
gonna
of
make a
George
sequel,
Romero in
dude.
this. Yeah.
Like totally,
This,
like you could just see the next movie. They're like fucking going through the Midwest,
Yes.
you know, tearing through the
Yeah.
Midwest, and then the third movie they're in California, taking out LA.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And it's not
Because
fucking, you know, it's not the typical zombie shit. Like they're, I don't know, it's a little more like Invasion of the Body Snatchers, a little more spookier, a little more creepier.
they're Lovecraftian for sure.
But they're still human at some points, you know, like the dude starts talking and he's eating the fucking rat, you know, the albino dude.
Oh yeah, we got it.
There's a lot of fun. There's a lot of fun you could do with that as a writer by not picking and choosing when they speak and whatnot. You know what I mean? So I would also like give them their own subcategory or classification of a zombie. I'd put them in the zombie genre because there's different ones, just like there's different werewolves. You know, the bipedal, the quadruped. This is a different one. You know, this is a different one.
But one of the definitions of a zombie is that a zombie is mindless. They have minds.
They do, and they're humans, but they eat they eat flesh.
Well, also they're like rotting.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I put them in the zombie category. They're just another subcategory though, and it's vast. I'm real loose with that. Just like I'm real loose with the horror. In my opinion, I'm real loose with the horror. What's horror and what's not. You know.
Yeah. So there's this great scene where he he's driving a bus full of the cult members, and just being to me, and he gives this chick a ride, and being a good host, a kind man, he offers her a snack, that's right, and he says they're like we're just coming back from the beach, and there are like hundreds of these. And she's like, well, what do you do with them? What do you think? I eat them.
Dude, I'm like, she's so fucked. There's no way. I thought like a bunch of dudes were going to jump out of the bed of the truck. They're going to pull over and eat her. And she was just like, she was really like respectful and nice about it and believable and like nice to him. And he let her go. Like, I was like, oh, okay. I didn't expect that.
Well, he also kind of assumes that she's a cult member at first. Right? But, of course, that turns out not to be the case.
Dude, this could be like a decent remake. I hate remakes, but I just like throwing that out there sometimes because I just see like if you threw some money at it and just like kind of, it's like I don't want it to be remade, but kind of go back in time and give them some more money type shit.
Exactly.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's no question. Here's the thing: if you can't if you can't get into the movie because you're distracted because it's from another decade, or it's dubbed, or it's subtitled, or because the budget is really low. If you can't get into a movie still, don't watch this. It's not for. It's really not for you because this is really kind of like almost art house horror.
I would say it's art housey and it's very I can't even think of the word, dude. But it's like there's a lot of stuff under the surface, and it's kind of like it's a mood horror movie. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah, and that's probably why I couldn't get into it because it was just kind of
like Suspiria in a way, but without that much of sound. But it also has
the lighting too,
and the moods, like the collages, the fucking like the cockroaches or the insects coming up. The artwork on the walls. Some are collages, but that's like setting you up, like it's getting in your head. It's a psychological thriller in some ways too. It doesn't give you the fucking full force shit till towards towards the end, I guess.
It's on a mission to fuck with you, and it actually does that pretty effectively. It does that gradually. It kind of eases you in. There's a great moment where she sees a painting, and sees like these faces staring at her, and she pulls it down, and there's a mural behind that and faces behind that.
Yeah,
and she jumps with the star. Yeah,
I like
there's
that
a
shot.
lot of that in this.
The arches, the gothic shot. That one, yeah, it's pretty dope.
Yeah.
I'd make that the cover of the movie just because it looks cool. That and maybe the beach with the guy walking up underneath. I just kind of like Photoshop them together.
I couldn't find a lot of fan posters for this. But what's interesting, what I find really interesting, is that it got like it's when I saw it back, like 20 years ago. Like I said, on one of these box sets, I was blown away by it. I was just like, man, this is a buried treasure. And now it's like surprisingly well regarded. It's got like a lot of respect.
To be honest with you, upon dissecting this movie, I actually appreciated more in the dissection process. But I was watching it though, I was kind of like,
give this another
looking
try.
back and pointing out all the stuff, it's like, yeah, that's kind of cool. You know what I mean? And I watched it over 2 days. It's the type of movie you want to watch like on a big screen with the lights off in one setting. You know what I mean?
Yeah. This is one I would give another chance when you have that opportunity.
And if you kind of know a little bit of that going into it, you might appreciate it a little more. Because I did, so. And I was like, what the fuck is this shit? You know what I mean?
Yep. I'm just taking a look at some of the trivia here. Messiah of Evil has since been reevaluated as a horror classic. Film Comment, that's the kind of like highbrow, snooty film magazine, called it one of the top 10 classic overlooked horror films of all time. For sure. IndieWire selected Messiah of Evil as number 95 on the list of the 150 greatest horror movies of all time, claiming that, quote, full of iconic and memorable scenes that recall to mind some of George A. Romero's best work. Dread Central said, this surreal coastal tale of the undead isn't merely underrated, it's perhaps the most criminally underseen 70s horror in existence. It's among the best atmospheric horrors of all time.
What is
British
that,
Film
man?
Institute, BFI, called it a rare work of cinematic genius. So I'm not alone, at least, in thinking that this movie's dope.
What is it in the coastal? What is it about coastal towns that are so good for horror? What is it?
It's I mean, like is
it the vast fucking ocean?
It definitely is. It definitely is.
Fucking wall of rock going straight down, and that sound of the ocean crashing, and what the fuck could come at me? And can this wave come? It's just all that in the back of your head. Is that why it's such a good idea to set a story there, or what do you think?
We all come from the ocean, right? We all come from the sea. And, well, what if something came out of the ocean that wasn't so friendly? What if something came out of the ocean? We were born of the ocean. What might it still give birth to? And of course, because it's so vast and it's so deep and it's so dark.
So I guess subconsciously, it's because I think it's just fucking scary. Like there's no monsters. It's not a scary movie. Let's just say it's a drama, right? It's dark. It's at night, and some of that. It's already fucking scary. The location, and I don't even know why. I think it's just subconsciously we know the possibilities are endless because if it's an endless body of water.
And that's one of the things that's so clever about this movie is that it does that with so many other things. Now, that scene in the movie theater, of course, that's freaking classic.
It's probably the scariest part. I mean, conceptually, fuck yeah, dude. But for me, like what got me, like, ooh, that shit's kind of was the scene with the dude, the main narrator. He was the one narrating most of the time, right?
Yes.
The guy that
Yeah. It was actually there was ID that posted the movie that she's watching, which is called Gone in the West. She goes into the theater, right? Now, of course, you've got that title, Kiss Tomorrow Goodbye. That's not the name of the movie that she's seeing.
I just saw Kiss. I was like, oh, they're probably Kiss is playing there, like the band Kiss. Like I just thought of that, like as it was flashing real quick, like no shit.
Tis a falling. So she buys the ticket. She goes in. The concession stand, of course, is abandoned. So she helps herself to some popcorn. And I'm sorry, this chick is really, really cute. Like I said, the dude Tom in this has got like the cute chick and the hot chick. So when she's sitting in the theater, suddenly these people start coming in. And they're sitting around her, and there's more of them, and then more of them, and then more of them. And I mean, you know what's happening. She, of course, doesn't have a clue. The part that's really scary is when she looks over at one of these people and she sees a tear of blood run down his cheek. And that's when she gets up and makes for the exit. The exit, of course, has been closed, has been locked. And the genius shot here in this scene is when she's in the back of the theater and she's walking along, keeping an eye on these creatures, and they're not paying attention to her. They're just looking straight ahead.
That's what's scary about it, you know? And you, it's
just the backs of their heads.
And I feel like they know she was there the whole time, and they're like, we're going to eat this. They're going to, to me, that's what's scary about it. Like,
yeah.
She knows that they know what they know, and that's why they're not tripping. They're like, no, bitch, we're going to eat you in a second. We're not turning our head around. You know?
Yeah. And that that detail is so fucking scary.
Yeah.
Yep. It's just like, goddamn. And of course, this dude pops out looking like Herc Harvey from Carnival of Souls.
Dude, I was about to say, where's Charlie at? He's about to take a bite out of some bitch in there too. You remember Charlie?
Charlie?
From last week?
Oh, yeah. Hey, Sarge, remember these choppers?
He's up in the movie theater, dude, where dude's in there with his lady, you know? He's like, let me get a bite. Ow.
Yeah. Oh, God, yeah. And there's some great shots in this. And that scene when they come crashing through the glass, snarling, like, you know, making these inhuman sounds, pretty goddamn effective.
Like, just imagine, dude, like, with the big budget, you know what I mean? And imagine what if they fucking transformed a little bit, you know what I mean? Get some Rick Baker fun in there, some Rob Bottin fun, you know what I mean?
It could have used some gore, for sure. It could have used some gore.
I think it would have been fun. I didn't need it, though. But, I mean...
It didn't need it, but...
Sometimes it's scary, too, when there's nothing there, because there's really nothing there. Like they just pull people down, and you don't really see them munching, because there's nothing... You know what I mean? There's no gore. Right. I'm like, well, are they eating them? Are they fucking humping them? Like, what are they doing? You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
So, but that, in a way, is kind of scary, too, because you don't exactly know. But eventually, you can't... I mean, yeah, they're eating
eventually,
them,
you figure it out, for sure. Yeah. It's like they're snacking on motherfuckers. And, yeah, of course, you know, she ends up... remember, Elisha Cook Jr.'s character says, it's like, you gotta burn your daddy. You can't bury him. They come back if you bury him. You gotta burn them. And yeah, that's exactly what she does. But it's like the onslaught of these things. They just keep coming. And she and Tom escape to the beach, and then they run into the ocean. I think that's when they ran out of money.
And you never know what happened. Was it Tom, the main dude? You never know what happened.
He disappears. You presume that he drowned. Remember, because she stabs him. She stabs him in the arm.
Sequel, baby. Oh yeah, she's come, and that blunt sound it makes too was pretty effective. I like that. It made, from what I recall, in retrospect, it made a pretty cool sound effect when she just bluntly stabbed him in the arm. It's like, oh, and just like, bitch.
For a first film, and like for a debut movie, and for like a drive-in movie budget, I think they did really something remarkable.
And imagine back in the day watching this, like when it fucking came out, like it would have been really fucking scary, probably. You know what I mean?
Yes,
for some people more than it would now, I think.
It's still just a creepy movie.
Yeah,
there's something genuinely creepy about it, and
that guy looks familiar, dude.
Yeah, he does. Let me check him out.
His voice sounded familiar. He reminded me of this voice actor that passed away. I forgot his name, but he did the voiceover. He was like this big like god that's in like the Legacy of Kain movies of the underworld. I don't know if you games. Do you know who I'm talking about?
Yeah, I do.
He does the voice of like the main bad guy in the Hunchback of Notre Dame, the Disney cartoon. But this like voice that's really deep. Like, I don't know, it sounds really cool.
He was the museum curator in an episode of Darkwing Duck.
Yeah.
And
Buffalo and Beauty and the Beast.
was on the
Yeah.
Bobby Gentry show.
Don't worry,
mostly
Val. We'll take good
actor.
care of him. It's like really, really cool, deep sounding voice. I think the dude passed away, but it's He kind of sounded like look. I was like, is that a younger version of him? You know, because sometimes people look a little different, and sometimes people age faster. Like it could have been him, but his voice kind of reminded me of him a little bit. Thought it might have been him.
Yeah, he passed away September 14th, 2002, age of 59.
Damn, that's fucking young, dude.
Yeah, which is sad. Yeah, it is. That's way too fucking young, for sure. You know, but it's like when you reach a certain age, and I'm at that point right now, where it's like, are you old? No. Are you at that age where motherfuckers just drop dead? Yes. maybe not, you know, the majority of people, but I know some people that, you know, like when they hit 50 something or 60, just drop dead. And it's I mean, I don't know if
got a young Hitler right there.
How he died looks more kind of like, I don't know, just
and you
like
got Paul Rubens too. If you go back
like
from Blow.
It looks kind of like BTK, actually.
Go to the one before that. Remember Blow? There's Paul Rubens from Blow.
Paul Rubens from Blow. Yeah, he's one of the undead that just drops in, and just the way that he approaches Tom like this is like almost something like that sort of predates like a Lucio Fulci movie. So hey, you know, folks, if this sounds like something you want to check out. Check it out. Link is in the description. Is it for everybody? No. But if you like surrealistic horror, definitely give Messiah of Evil a shot.
Oh, for sure.
Now, what should we watch next week?
You guys got any ideas?
Well, Messiah of Evil, by the way, was a request from
Bronson, right?
Bronson Gorilla.
I liked it. That was cool.
Yeah. So if anybody in the chat, if you want to suggest a movie for us to watch next week, by all means, give us your thoughts. You can also give us, your thoughts in the comments section, which I do read. Usually there's just messages from porn bots. But, we do appreciate you tuning in, and we do appreciate you hitting the like and the subscribe button. I'm not going to tell you what to do. I'm just going to suggest that. You guys, we'll figure. Oh, wait a second. I know
I got a list, but fuck, I don't know.
What about Candyman?
That sounds tight as fuck. I mean, you can't go wrong with Candyman.
Can't go wrong with Candyman because I just watched.
I gotta watch Woke Candyman. Is the new one good?
Yes,
I heard it's like a sequel. Okay,
it is, and Tony Todd isn't Candyman in that.
That's what I heard.
But there's a really good explanation as to why.
Okay.
Like you totally accept it.
Damn, I gotta watch that too. It's on fucking Max right now.
I was really pleasantly surprised because I was bracing myself. I was bracing myself because there was a documentary called Horror Noir, and it was like the Black experience in horror films, right? Mm-hmm. And the way they talked about Candyman was that, it's great, but it's problematic.
The new one,
right?
Or the old one?
The old one.
Oh,
it's
they're
problematic.
Well, at least they tell you problematic. That way it signifies like, okay, fuck these guys and their dirty ass. I'm not going to listen to it.
According to
that's when I turned the documentary off.
According to Doc, that word needs to go away.
You turn it off.
Who, what?
According to Doc, the word problematic needs to go away.
Yeah, no shit.
No, that's what I'm saying. If I hear in the beginning of anything I'm about to read or watch, I turn it off immediately. And I thank them for telling me that, because that means that I'm not going to like what you got to say.
So in this documentary, what they were saying was Candyman needs to be remade and the problematic parts need to be fixed.
Well, if they remake it, they need to remake it where he's like an old white English guy with long fingernails, and you know what I mean? Just do the exact fucking source material shit if you're going to do that. Otherwise, don't fuck with it, in my humble opinion.
Right. Not only is the new Candyman not woke, it actually makes fun of wokeness.
Oh, dope.
Like, Like, for instance, the protagonist is an artist, and all of his paintings are ridiculously on the nose.
Oh,
Not
okay.
subtle in the least bit, right? It's like a black, like like a black man's hands holding like a noose,
Oh, no shit.
right?
That's funny.
Because that's what white people want to see. That's what they want to buy,
Right.
right?
The
And yeah. So it incredibly well shot. The cinematography in that is fucking amazing. Especially the way it uses futurist architecture.
Oh, okay.
It ties into the original film. It's a sequel.
Oh, is it really? I thought it was a prequel.
It's a sequel.
Oh,
nope.
Okay.
It's a sequel.
Okay, cool.
And the score is amazing, and I was really, really pleasantly surprised by it. Very pleasantly surprised.
I have to check it out.
Yeah. Oh, it's a must. It's a must for sure. Because the only reason I even bothered with it was because a friend of mine said, "I think you need to see that."
Well, I wanted to watch it because Tony Todd was in it, so I was like, "All right, I'll check it out." Because if he's doing it, it's probably got somewhat.
He has a cameo.
Oh, okay.
He has a cameo, which they have to at least,
Yeah.
If they had at least kind of done a cameo for him, I would have been mad. I'm not gonna lie. It was not at all what I expected. Not at all what I expected. And hopefully, who knows? Maybe Werewolf by Night will be a unexpected pleasure. But I am not.
Is Candyman on Tubi right now, or what's it on right now?
Candyman is on. Let me check real quick.
I remember liking the first 2 or 3 are pretty good. Like they're.
The first 2 were really good. The first one's a classic.
Yeah.
And
I watched it not too long ago.
The second one is way better than it has any right to be.
The Farewell to the Flesh, right? That's the second one.
I think so.
But I think it is on. It is a movie I'd like to do. That one was on Tubi for a minute. I don't know if it's still there or not.
Oh, is it the
original?
Okay. Yeah,
and I think that movie deserves for us to talk about it if it's still on there. I think it's the best made-for-television movie of all time.
Which one is this?
It's
of course. Yeah.
But there's a bunch on there. I have a list right here though, but Candyman's not on my list.
Yeah, no, Candyman was on there, but it's not on there now. It says that it's on Peacock. Let me try and just do a search. Manual search. Sorry, people, if this is boring. Let's see. Candyman.
There's also Salem's Lot. I think that's a good one, but I don't know if that one's.
Oh yeah, Tobe Hooper. Yeah, so I think that's really good.
That's really good. That movie scared the shit out of me when I was a kid. One scene in particular, I did not like the remake with Rutger Hauer and Donald Sutherland and Rob Lowe. Thought that was trash. Sorry, guys.
No, it was.
The first one is iconic and scary as fuck. And actually, you know what? That might be tied with it for the best TV movie because that was a TV movie. I think that's what spearheaded the fucking fucking Stephen King made for TV movies, right?
And for sure, Tobe Hooper directed it, and they did it as a 2-part miniseries.
Yeah, it's like 3 hours, right?
Yes, and they also did a theatrical cut because it was released theatrically overseas.
Yeah, man. So that's one too. You know what I mean? Like two big fucking horror movies. By King. It and Salem's Lot. Those are 2 I got for you.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So we'll probably do one of those.
But I did this list 2 months ago, so I don't even know if they're on Tubi anymore. You know what I mean? So
right. Yeah. We shall figure something out.
You can deep dive.
Yeah, exactly. Everybody. Oh well. Before we check out, Matt, tell people where these fools can find you.
Oh yeah, for sure, man. You guys can find me on Twitter. It's at Roomcutter Comic, and you can find me on YouTube. It's Metal Movies at Brewskis, where I do metal movies and comic book reviews. I talk about stuff I like, and if you guys want, you could support me. If you want. You can check out my book. It's a Butch Cleaver. I got one, and this is part 2. It's on Indiegogo and demand, butchcleaver.com. If you go there too, it'll take you to the same spot. I got a limited supply of these, and I got a bunch of these. So if you want, check them out. And thanks, Brian. I really appreciate it, buddy. Man.
You got it. And folks, that's a fun book. That's a fun book.
Thanks, man.
For sure. No, you got it, brother. I give credit where credit's due. Well, I thought it was like, if I think it's shit, well, I'm not going to tell you that it's shit. I'm not going to say anything about it. That's my policy with my fellow creators, because I'm not going to lie and tell people that I enjoyed stuff that I didn't enjoy. But I enjoyed Butch Cleaver for sure.
Fuck yeah.
Pops, what about you, man?
Over there in the chat, I just dropped the link to the book that we launched yesterday, Saving Mr. Creep. Kind of fits in. I don't know.
Yeah, it does. It does.
And the link to the YouTube channel is also over there in the chat. Go subscribe, check it out. We have a lot of programming coming up. Now we're doing a lot of new stuff now. So, be there.
Yeah. And also, and from ID. Yeah, sorry, dude. I wasn't paying attention to the chat as usual. Did you find the mouse and puking up insects and worms to be something that could have had more significance and not inserted for shock value? Absolutely. That was an indication that there was some kind of magic involved. That's what I thought. Right? Because if she's rotting from the inside, then she'd be puking up just like maggots or something like that. Right? Yeah. But no. There's like a fucking like lizards and other creepy crawlies. That's when you knew that, like, dude, this is like some supernatural shit.
I'm gonna put it real easy. Like, there's more cooking in there, demonically, conceptually. But I'll just say there's some demon shit going on in there.
Yeah. I mean, evil shit for sure. Evil shit for sure.
Evil demonic shit in there.
What pantheon? We don't know. But it's some bad shit, some bad news for sure. Folks, smash the subscribe button, hit the like if you feel like it, and we will see you next week.
So, I got one more thing. You guys, go sign up for Six Gun Gorilla Omnibus at Zoop.
Oh, yeah.
It's
that's
coming
going to
up.
be...
I put the link in the description. If you scroll up to the top, you guys will fucking love it. So go check that out. If you haven't already, get in there type shit.
Thanks, brother. I appreciate that. Oh, and 6x6 are going to be launching, doing the cryptids, the cryptidnals
in 2 days, right?
Relaunch in a few days. They're going to be
doing
2 days
on the 15th.
Yeah. They're doing it this weekend, folks. I highly recommend that you get that. And they're selling like book. They're selling a hardcover
really?
edition. Yeah,
man.
With wait for it, glow in the dark lettering.
Oh, that's going to be sick. Yeah, you guys got to buy that fucking book. I'm telling you. And they're going to fucking do something I haven't seen in a minute. They're doing simultaneous launches on Kickstarter and on fucking on Indiegogo. Sorry.
Yes. And I'm not gonna spill the beans totally, but yes, we have been behind the scenes working on the Man Dog Six Gun Gorilla crossover.
What the?
And yeah, we're gonna have something. It's gonna be fun. That's gonna be so much really fucking fun. Yeah. And Ray's an amazing writer, so I'm looking forward to collaborating with him for sure.
So tight.
Everybody, as usual, peace, love, and Matt